What's up everyone, John from ARTV. It's time for a review of the 5th studio album by electronicore band IC Stars. The new one is called Treehouse, and it's out now. The link to stream it is in the description down below, along with my Facebook, Twitter, and my Patreon. If you're curious on helping out the reviews, the channel in general, and of course beyond ARTV, you can click that top link. It'll take you over to my Patreon account, see what's going on there. You can help donate and support the channel, keep the videos keep coming. Many of you that follow beyond ARTV are probably a bit surprised to see this review in your sub feed. IC Stars was listed as a band that I had outgrown, and I want to clarify that. IC Stars and outgrowing them and outgrowing a band in general, it doesn't mean that I dislike all of their music or just can't listen to it. It's just that as a whole, I've kind of moved on from that. I can hear it sometimes in passing, and in fact there are songs that I like and will still regularly listen to. It just doesn't mean that I've totally phased them out of my life at this point. And with IC Stars, I am always willing to give them or any other band a chance. And with future releases and that sort of thing, whatever it may be, I will listen to the album. And listening through Treehouse, I was surprised in a very good way, especially after listening to a band that lost 2 of their key members, including Zach Johnson, who did the unclean, screamed vocals, and their guitarist, of course. Zach Johnson and the other member both being asked to leave back in 2015. I actually have a connection to Zach, kind of. I know his ex-fiance through one of my good friends, and it's an interesting scenario. I'm not going to comment on it myself, but yeah, kind of a weird situation there. With Treehouse, I see IC Stars moving in more of an electronic direction, more so than ever. They've done some remix EPs and that sort of thing, some acoustic stuff, and it's interesting to see where they're at now in their career. I honestly think that their songwriting skills have sharpened. Devin Oliver sounds great on a lot of these tracks. I think his clean vocals are really interesting over these guitar meets like electronic dance grooves, and obviously still some of that electronicore, the breakdown on Mobbin Out. One of the best things that I've heard all year, especially in terms of a breakdown. It's phenomenal. Running with Scissors, another aggressive one that just immediately attacks. That was one of the pre-release singles, and I saw why I think some people were getting the wrong impression of what was going to appear on this record. With the single Break, we started seeing a little bit more of what was to come. It's got that hard-hitting intro. I love it. They have a way of reeling people in with these awesome intros. I've seen that from Filth Friends Unite, 10,000 Feet. They've done it all throughout their career. They get people hooked, and they make you pay attention to what's to come, and that's something that I always commend them for. There's definitely aggressive moments on this record, and I say moments because there's parts of songs that do leave you in suspense or thinking, wow, this is a huge build, or this is just really interesting because of the electronic direction, but I wouldn't say there's that many screams on this record compared to what you're hearing in the past. Obviously, they're down a couple of members, things are getting a little bit more experimental, and I think that this is the best thing that could have happened to IC Stars because they sound better than ever, to be quite honest. There's a few songs on here that feel like them trying to be kind of like their past selves, and one of those tracks in particular would be Portals, the next to last track on here. Not really cutting it for me. Calm Snow really surprised me when it opened up the album. I love the chill atmosphere. It's kind of building up. There's a lot of passive-aggressive tension that you could just cut with a knife on this record. Obviously, there were some wrongdoings here, or else they're channeling somebody that was hurt, and I think they do it in a very non-discreet way a lot of the time, and also something that doesn't feel regurgitated or just generic in general. You look at some of these tracks like Everyone's Safe in the Treehouse, and it is tense. It is layered so well. The vocals sound phenomenal, and there's a part near like a little breakdown where he's not screaming, but he's shouting, "You don't get it, you'll never get it," and it's just very impactful. There's a few in the middle of the record that I'm not really so much interested in. There's one that's almost entirely instrumental. There's a lot of vocal manipulations being played with, and it just feels like it's walking in circles. Walking on Gravestones would be that track, and then right after that we get track number 8, Light in the Cave, which is one that kind of falls more into that flatline territory. I'm not saying that's a bad or a throwaway track by any means, but it's just less than enjoyable for me. Fortunately, the album does kind of get in a little bit of a winning section. After a weird track, I'm conflicted on All In because I don't think that I like the style, but it also reminds me of something experimental that my friend's been playing around with for a long time in GarageBand, kind of like rap singing over some weird beats and then a guitar breakdown. I don't know, it's an interesting track. I would say that I'm on the fence, and I'm not sure how most fans are going to feel about it, but it's definitely grown on me. me. But it does go on a little bit of a winning streak there. Two Hearted is one that feels a little bit more reminiscent, I guess, of some of their old material. And like I said, I'm not that big on the track Portals by any means. It just feels kind of stale. It's there. I don't mind listening to it. I'm not, I guess, offended by it. And I'm just like, oh, I have to turn this off. But then we get to the next track, Yellow King, and it sees them going out on a brighter note. I guess brighter than I've really seen I See Stars. It makes sense for them to be bright. Shine bright like a star, not a diamond, Rihanna. I think the only track that I haven't mentioned at this point is White Lies, and that's also another one of my favorites here. It's very brooding. It's one of those atmospheric cuts that really just kind of draws you in with its atmosphere. You feel like you're in their world there. And obviously there were some things that just weren't told, and those lies start to stack up. They might have started off small, but they start to cause turmoil, kind of a wall in a relationship or else a friendship, and you see the musicianship kind of growing as a result of that. The instrumental on this track is just super well done. Blown away is not a phrase that I would use to describe this record. It's just surprised, because I thought that I was kind of over I See Stars, but this album kind of perked up my ears and made me say, you know what? Bands that can improve upon their past stuff and want to go in new directions, good for them. I'll give it a listen, and if I like it, I'm gonna keep coming back to it. I'll probably end up picking up a copy of this record for myself. For me personally, the new I See Stars album Treehouse, I'm going with a strong 3.5. If you've heard the newest record from the electronicore, post-hardcore electronic band I See Stars, let me know your thoughts on it in the comments section down below. Don't forget to leave a like on this video while you're here, and subscribe to the channel, because friends don't let friends go unsubscribed. You can check out another I See Stars review that I've done, or the last review that I did on this channel by clicking the link in the little annotation floating down there below me. All of my social media is in the description. Other than that, I'll see you guys very soon right here on ARTV.